Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Florida Aviation Network. My name is Lori Bradner, and we are broadcasting live and in the clear from the Central Florida Aerospace Academy. We are here celebrating 50 years of Sun and Fun. And of course, I have the best job in the world, and with me today, I have KT Budde Jones. KT, it is always a gift. I don't know how I got so lucky. I'm behind the desk when you arrived.
Well, it's my pleasure, and I always enjoy just chatting with you. It's like sitting around having a cup of coffee.
I love it. I love it. KT, you are here today. Of course, we know you best for Stallion 51. Now, we're celebrating 50 years of Sun and Fun. I know that you've been with Stallion 51 a long time.
Not quite 50 years.
Not quite 50 years. Tell us a little bit about the past, the present, the future, where we've been, where we are, and where we're going, because I know you've got a story to tell.
Oh, there always is a story, but Stallion has been part of Sun and Fun for 37, 38 years. Lee and his crazy horse, his Mustang, has been here performing, sharing it with everybody. We share it here, and we share it back at Kissimmee Airport, where we give orientation flights and training, checkout training, and I think personally, more important, recurrent training. It's not a one and done for pilots who are learning to fly a Mustang. They come back and they retune their skills. They make sure that they're doing everything properly, so they haven't gotten into a bad habit. And so at Stallion 51, not only do we share it individually with people who they get the experience of the hands-on flight, but we train people to enjoy their own Mustang, keep them flying, keep them available, keep them performing at air shows all over, not just us, not just Stallion, but everybody who has a Mustang. So it's not just a finite area and just for personal use, but to share that history, that sound.
That's all. And you know what, I think, would you say, and this is just as you were talking and I was listening, complacency. Complacency is a killer.
Complacency is a killer. And you know,
especially in aviation, it's unforgivable.
It's unforgivable, and nothing leaves you faster than aviation knowledge. It's something you need to keep up on all the time. And right now, I was just sort of putting together an article about the fact that the Wild West days of warbirds is over, that there's a new sheriff in town, and it's safety.
Well, okay, so you're writing an article. Tell us more about this.
Well,
I like the title.
Well, it's about the fact that for years, warbirds, and this is decades ago, you know, sort of like jump in the plane, you know, light the fires, kick the tires, let's go have some fun. And that's not the case anymore. Now we are making sure that pilots are prepared for the flights, that they're trained for their flights, that the airplanes are ready, that they share through like the International Council of Air Show performers, through North American Aviation Trainer Association, through INWAC, which is warbird operators, are sharing the techniques of how to keep these planes flying, keep them safe, keep the pilots safe, and for years to come to enjoy them and most importantly to share them, to make them available to the public, either by flying them with us or for other operators, or seeing them at airports and aviation events. That's really important. Because without them out there, people can't get enthused about the rights to have planes, the rights to fly, and understand aviation history. It's scary that kids today don't understand where it came from. And there's nothing like hearing a warbird fly, whether it's a Merlin or whether it's a Rolls, whether it's a Pratt & Whitney or a good radial engine, to hear them, to smell them, to feel them, then you want to know more. And we're ready to share that.
And that's really, I know over the past, KT, that's really the mission of Stallion 51.
It is the mission, you're right.
That's been your mission.
Absolutely, to share that experience, whether they're seeing it in an air show. Lee has done thousands of air shows through the years and has taught others to share them in air shows safely.
Right.
And that is the number one thing, safety. Not just safety for the pilot, but for, of course, the airplane. We want to keep them flying, and for the public that watches them. So that is our purpose, in many ways, one of our great goals.
Now, I know that many of our viewers are fan because you have been one of our, I'm going to say our keynote guests.
Yeah.
We always look forward to seeing you each year. Talk if somebody is new and joining us. What is your role at Stallion 51? And I know it has changed and it's morphed and it changes again, but tell us a little bit about what your role is and how you got involved. with Stallion 51?
Well, it's funny you should ask that. That is a very unique story.
Okay.
I'm sort of the ambassador. I call myself an ambassador. I like to spread, like Johnny Appleseed, spread the news and make sure that people understand who we are, where we are, and how to find us.
Right.
But my interest in it actually started, I hate to say how many years ago, but close to 40 years ago, when we found a TBM Avenger sunk on the bottom of the ocean while we were looking for Spanish shipwrecks. I know there's a very obtuse story, but it's true. We found a TBM Avenger on the bottom of the ocean. We had been looking for a shipwreck. Yeah, looking for a shipwreck.
This is the first time I've heard this. I should have asked you the question earlier. Keep going.
Well, and there it was. It's not part of the Lost Squadron, but it was from that time period. I went, wow, what an amazing plane. It's huge. And as we were digging it out, the wing went forever, and you could see the stars and bars on it. And there was a big 300-pound grouper in the cockpit. And I wanted to know more. So this is a magnificent beast, this plane.
Yeah.
Oh, and then one thing leads to another. And that's what I hope we can do at Stallion is there's that little seed going, I want to know a little bit more. Oh, that's a neat plane. Well, what did it do in the war? Well, what happened in the war? Well, then what happened before that? What happened after that? And all of a sudden you're making a huge concentric circle of information as it billows out, and you're encompassing a whole big area of history because of that one little spark. And that's what it did for me. Moved up here from Key West up here to Kissimmee Airport, and worked for a fellow named Tom Riley, who restored and flew World War II planes, and that we became friends with Stallion 51. And after coming back from Hawaii and starting the Pacific Aviation Museum, started working for Stallion 13 years ago, just doing whatever I can to spread their mission.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, along with that, Stallion 51 is absolutely key and a huge supporter of the ACE the Stratus program.
Yes.
And I wanted to ask if you could, again, many of us here that are involved with aviation, that have involved with Sun and Fun, know what that program is. And I know we've got another guest that's going to become following you, and we get to meet the winner. But would you expound a little bit about the ACE the Stratus program and Flight Lead, what that means, and tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I'd like to sort of start at the back end of the story, about the Flight Lead part.
Okay, let's do that.
Because Flight Lead to me is what we've coined as the winner of this great opportunity to fly in the Mustang with Lee. As we end the air show today, they get to have a wonderful orientation flight with Lee as we go back to Kissimmee.
That is an experience they will never forget.
Now, it's good enough that they've done really well in their life. They've already, at a young age, excelled, they've gotten their pilot's license, done well in school. But the thing that makes them a little bit different, or maybe a lot different, is that they have shown Flight Lead characteristics. And Flight Lead is not just you're in front. You're not just in front of a group of airplanes flying someplace. Flight Lead is supporting the group, being trusted with the group. The group trusts you to make sure you're getting in the right place at the right time. And that is sort of what a Flight Lead does in life as well. And this is what these kids are. We interview them, find what they're doing, what their goals are, and go, this person's a real Flight Lead. They're not just leading from the front, they're leading from the back too, helping and pushing people to their goals and supporting everyone's goals.
As an educator, the word that comes to mind, correct me if is mentor.
Absolutely, and many of them are mentors. And that's leading sometimes from the front and sometimes from the back. And that's what we look for. That's what Angela and Lee have been supporting all these years. This program, the Stratus program, is going on for 10 years, and they've been supportive of it all this time. And I'm going to leave that story to them. But I sort of coined the phrase of, well, what do we call these people, these young people, men and women, who sort of excel above even the best of the best?
Right.
And I said, it's a Flight Lead, someone who takes over and someone you can rely on and depend upon. I don't know if some people have seen the program Masters of the Air.
Yes.
And they had Flight Leads there. And those guys were more than just the guy at the front.
Right.
They were supporting everybody, the ground troops, everybody, and they're somebody they could look up to and depend upon. That's the person we want to exonerate and give that privilege to.
And I know we're very excited because I know Angela's going to be on later, and we get to meet the flight lead,
yes,
the winner. Now, tell us a little bit about the Stratus program. What do you know? I know that we're also going to have Rochelle is going to be on.
And I don't want to give that
Okay,
away.
don't want to give that away.
I don't want to give that away, but it's
that's all right. That's all right.
But it's a special program that really helps kids to find their best in themselves and gives them opportunities to excel in the area that they want to explore. Because aviation is more than just flying.
Yes.
It can be publicity, it can be air traffic control, it can be weather, it can be, Angela will tell you about one of the students that's working on ergonomics as far as making aviation comfortable and safe from the inside position. So there's lots of ways aviation can be supported, and the program supports those ideas.
Has Stallion 51 been involved with Stratus since the beginning?
For 10 years, absolutely.
That's awesome.
I know. That's something that Lee and Angela really believe in.
Okay, that's what a beautiful partnership. What's next for Stallion 51? What do you see in the future? We've got the flight lead, we've got the Stratus program. Obviously, one of our goals is to inspire the younger generation. So what's next? What do you see on the horizon? And the Wild West, the horizon. What's on the horizon?
Well, maybe tame him a little bit.
Okay.
I always say that
safety first.
I always say it takes a Texan to tame a Mustang, and into that light, we do have T6 Texan in our program, which is being used a great deal now because more and more people are taking the opportunity to fly the Texan, learn in the Texan, so they can move into the Mustang. There's no other path to the Mustang cockpit than from the Texan. And we have that, we integrate that into our program. So you can, I sort of consider the Texan the grad school and the Mustang the doctorate program.
Nice.
You know, it's that.
I like the analogy.
It's big. It's a big leap and it's a lot to learn. And we also offer orientation flights in the Texan as well as the Mustang. And it's also working with the FAA so that we can offer these programs and step up what we're allowed to legally do as well as safety-wise do to enhance aviation education.
Right.
So we're moving forward with that program. We still have most of the year, at least half the year, we have 4 dual cockpit, dual control Mustangs there. That's Crazy Horse 2, Mad Max, and the Little Witch are all usually there in the winter months. Come summer, they all scatter and go out to air shows, sort of. They're sharing their noise and history all over the East Coast, and then they all come back in fall.
Okay.
But original Crazy Horse will still be in Kissimmee, giving flights and instruction, and we hope to maybe add more North American aviation aircraft to the fleet. It's something that's in the works.
Nice.
It is a campus of higher learning. I mean,
right.
That is where we are, and we constantly are adding more to it. Also, we have unusual attitude training still there at the Kissimmee Airport at our base of operation there, which takes you inside out, upside down, and tells you what to do about it before you need to know. It's a bad time to be reading the directions when everything is going wrong. And so this program is very big with corporate and business organizations that want to send their pilots there that haven't had the opportunity to go over 10, 20 degrees of bank for a long time, and now get them prepared for that moment when they get into wake turbulence or a weather situation or a control a surface problem, and now they'll know what to do about it. And that's a very big program. We're very busy with that, and that's several days. So it's continuing to evolve and expand and include more people, businesses, corporates, individuals, etc.
Well, and I love that, just that unusual attitude training seems very proactive to me.
Yes, it is.
As someone, if I was, flying, someone who flies, that is something, and even for students, young students, I think that it's key. Now, let me ask you, KT, I know we've talked a lot about individuals that have pilot's license, that fly, that want to come, they want to learn from you, they, like you said, they want to do their master's, they want to graduate. What happens to our viewers that just have heard, they know the warbirds, they know the history? I've had the pleasure of being out to your hangar, and it's absolutely phenomenal. Is there something that even just the general enthusiast They have a passion, they've never been up. Can you talk about that? Can they come in? Can they come see you? Do they have an opportunity to enjoy the Texan? Do they have an opportunity to fly? How does that work? Do you offer that?
Well, we do. We have orientation flights.
I knew you did. That's why I asked.
Okay.
That's why I asked the question.
Such a great lead. I appreciate that. You're right. Okay. We do have orientation flights that are offered in both the Texan and the Mustang that allow you to take the controls, do the flying yourself. But every flight that we have actually starts with a ground school. This is a lesson. So you have a ground school, and we determine by your experience, your expertise, and your expectation of what you would like in that flight. And then we tailor it. You go, well, if we want to do hardcore aerobatics, these are the aerobatics, and we'll talk about the maneuver before you get in the cockpit. Because anybody who's ever taken a flight lesson in their life know they stop learning once they get in the cockpit. You have to talk about it at the desk, because once in there you go, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. And so talk about it ahead of time. Oh, well, just overwhelmed. And then we do a cockpit orientation, because anybody who's ever flown said, I'm used to the airspeed indicator here, and now it's over here. So we try to get them oriented. Then we go up for the flight, do the full flight experience. Everything they say and do is on that tape. And we share that with them.
I didn't know.
Yes,
That's awesome.
They get to relive it over and over and over again, share it with everybody they know many times. And then we sort of do a little rebrief. This was an Immelman, this was a Split S. And that whole package is the same thing, whether it's a T6, whether it's the Mustang, and even the L39, we have orientation flights.
Awesome.
We work with the FAA about what they are allowing to do. They're changing their requirements. That's sort of they're fine-tuning those things, but we work within what they want us to do. But anybody can fly the T6 Texan at this point, and we can share it with them.
That's awesome.
And she's quite the big girl to do that with.
And I've had the pleasure of being in one, and I have to tell you, once you've done it, you're hooked. Once you've done it, you're hooked. Now, KT, I know we're running. This goes so fast. I just want to keep you here all day.
Okay.
We could just talk all day. Where can people find you? Can you give us the website? Can you give us all that information? And you can talk directly to the camera so that they know where they can find you. Because if they've not taken an orientation flight, if you have not been out to Stallion 51, they need to come.
Well, we do want to share it with you. We're at the Kissimmee Gateway Airport, which is not far from here, just a little bit east and north of here. Our website is, of course, www.stallion51.com. Our phone number is 407-846-4400, and we are there Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call with your questions, call with your concerns. We do gift certificates. We send out packets of information. We'll answer all your questions. Given a little bit of time, we have visitors. We are in a museum. We don't give tours, but we do where we are located in our building is such that you can really see all the girls in the hangar, and you can watch all the action on the flight line. As a matter of fact, on our website, you can see live action both in the hangar and on the ramp. So you can see what's happening in the day.
Yep.
And we would be happy to share with you the experience and any questions you may have. Just give us a call or check on the website, and we're there for you. And if you're here, of course, at Sun and Fun, we're over on the Warbird ramp.
Yep. And one thing we must mention is that tonight we've got the awesome night air show, and
guess who's starting it?
That would be Lee Lauterbach and Crazy Horse.
Yes,
I love it. So if you've not seen it, if they've not heard it, they've not felt it, now is the time. KT, it is always a gift. You are a blessing and a gift.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for being a teacher's teacher.
Yeah.
Thank you for being a mentor, and thank you for being an inspiration.
Yeah.
It is always a joy to have you here. We're going to we want to have you come to see Sun and Fun. We're celebrating 50 years. Get to see Crazy Horse in the air if you've never seen it. It is absolutely phenomenal. And my name is Lori Bradner. I'm with the Florida Aviation Network. We are here broadcasting live and in the clear from the Central Florida Aerospace Academy, celebrating 50 years of sun and fun. We look forward to seeing you here, and we look forward to seeing you at the night show. you.